Hello, my name is David Deloy, and I'll be giving you my persuasive speech for Communications 101. Actions speak louder than words. Let me say that again. Actions speak louder than words. The same speech I'll be giving you today, I'm sure you've heard 10 times, maybe even more. But my goal today is to prompt you to act and protect your children from the harms of social media. Not to scare you, but to display the harms it can have on your children. Children under the age of 16 should not have access to social media because it causes idealization, which can lead to anxiety, increased chances of predator encounters, and the effect on our daily behavior of children. To start, I'm going to be giving you two personal stories. One from myself and my experience with social media, and one from a close friend. I didn't get social media until I was 15. I'm the youngest of 6 kids. And we just kind of hung out together and we spent a lot of time. So I didn't really have a great use for it. But once I got it, the addiction was pretty strong. I spent hours and hours a day scrolling and just looking for whatever would make me laugh or whatever would, catch my attention. Quickly realized, though, there was no life or hope in this. And it was just a really tough time to really kind of figure that out, but spent a lot of time on it. I wanted approval of others through what I posted, through whatever it may be, through how I looked. I wanted likes, I wanted following, whatever you call it. This led to depression and anxiety. I felt hopeless and lost and wondering if I would stack up with the perfect lives of everyone else. I kept seeing how perfect their vacations were, how perfect their sports teams were, how perfect whatever you want to name it. And I just wondered if I would ever be able to feel that good. Pretty depressing story, but I'm going to go to another one this morning. A close friend, when in middle school, engaged with an app called Omegle. So if you know what Omegle is, you're probably like, ooh, not great. Omegle is kind of like FaceTime when you're in the app, but Omegle is much more damaging. So a lot of times this is just with random people, and you can encounter older people like predators. Pretty common for them to be on this app, and it's really harmful and damaging to like this interaction. So my close friend was with a group of friends, and she decided to go on Omegle and ended up getting into contact with the older middle-aged man that they were talking to. And through this, they ended up exchanging numbers, and they kept texting back and forth. And then they also kept FaceTiming as well off of Omegle, just through text. Scary, scary story. This is a middle school girl and a 45-year-old predator. You never really know what could have happened, and thankfully it didn't end up in a terrible way. Certain forms of social media can be more risky, but all can lead to a terrifying story like this. As a parent, I think it should be your goal to prevent this. At least I know as a parent, that's what I'll be doing. The use of social media for children can create glamorization, which can lead to anxiety. Adamos Haji Panayas, in the spring version of Springer Verilog, writes, when inside social media, people, even children, often use the platform to display a better version of themselves. And through the many independent channels, they are allowed to create, maintain separate identities with completely different social circles of acquaintances. This explains and helps understand what glamorization is and just how damaging it can be. You're not really even yourself. You don't understand your identity when you can't truly be yourself in every way. So children do not need to be exposed to anxiety at such young ages, wondering if they're even good enough. It's common for social media to cause children to be less satisfied with their looks, the trips they go on, and just life in general. From personal experience, it is so easy to scroll and see all these beautiful places and people or fun things and wonder if I'll even stack up to that. So do your part and prevent kids from being exposed to something like this. A scary reality for young girls in social media is a potential exposure or contact with predators. January 15th, 2024, Cleveland Clinic writes, nearly 6 out of every 10 girls say that they've been contacted through social media by a stranger in a way that makes them feel uncomfortable. That statistic should be staggering and shocking. That is a truly depressing reality of the potential harms of social media, something that should be avoided at all costs. When we hear these statistics, though, the first thing we should be thinking is, how can we prevent this in any way possible? Blockers of sites or even preventing contact with non-followers is an idea or potential solution, but those won't be 100% effective. Removing all social media will make this not just a scary reality that has to be worried about. Social media predators are real, and not allowing social media until the age of 16 will help to mitigate the risk of contact. When a parent is looking back after their kid is gone and grown up, at the top of the list of the most important things is surely the character that they built in this child. Having a kid who's known for their outstanding character is a great thing and a goal of, I'm sure, every single parent. Through their adolescent years, their character and values are formed, but can be greatly affected negatively by social media. From January 15th, 2024, Cleveland Clinic writes, in addition to problematic digital behaviors, there may be changes in children's behavior at home, like increased irritability, increased anxiety, increased depression, increased sleep issues, lack of self-esteem, lack of focus, and a lack of concentration. That is 7 things that this can lead to, which are all very bad and problematic. This isn't one area of the child's life. This affects their well-being and personhood greatly in many, many ways. An anxious, depressed, and not confident child should not be the goal of any parent. Step in and take away social media to prevent these character developing years from being full of anxiety and depression. Prior to age 16, children shouldn't have access to social media because it causes glamorization, potential predator encounters, and the effect on the daily behavior for children. As I said at the start, actions speak louder than words. A lot of times, parents will hear the same speech and be like, "Oh, that's terrible! Like, look at the damages of social media to children." But prompting you to act. As it brought to light in the 2 stories I talked about, the effects of social media can be dark, isolating, and worrisome. Prevent them. The goal of a parent is to protect and search the welfare of their children, and the use of social media inhibits this welfare. The increased likelihood of anxiety and depression just scratch the surface of how social media negatively affects children. So today, let your actions speak louder than your words, and do not give your child social media to protect them and strive to better their developmental years. Thank you for your time.